as I was getting out of the cab, there was a couple of youths loitering around the front of the pub. So I said, excuse me, would you mind moving over? And Jemima gladly stepped aside and Rufus held the door open. So that's not too bad. And you don't get that where I come from in London, believe me. Anyway, I'm going to start off with a poem for you. I went to school with a fella, right, and he had a bit of an identity crisis. He was half English and half Irish. His name was Paddy Young, and this is called The Tale of Paddy Young. There was a man called Paddy Young who had a distinctive lisp. He spoke in Anglo-Saxon tongue until the Guinness touched his lips. Then he began to sound quite Irishy. You couldn't tell where he was from. People guessed the whereabouts of his identity from Donegal to Edmonton. If he drank a bit too much whiskey, he would scream and shout and whine. I told you once, I told you twice, I won't tell you a second time. But ironically, if he spoke to his mum, for instance, if he would phone her, he used to revert straight back into his old Cockney persona. All right, Mum, I'll be home for tea. I'm just having a pint with Lafferty. As time went by, the accents battled. He would go in and out of voice. He was lost in character, totally baffled. It was no longer a conscious choice. Who am I supposed to be? Am I Irish or English then? Do you know what I mean? Oh, dearie me, I'm doing it again. The voices fought as hard as they could. Paddy Young could barely breathe until the Irish voice took over for good. And now he lives in County Meath. Thank you. Hey. Thank you very much for, for clapping. That's a rarity. We're off to a good start. But, as a man of literature, as you've just found out, I'm also very fond of English language in general, and also I love English quotations. I mean, the tit in the hand is worth more than the finger of Bush. That's one of my favourites. But I find that a lot of quotations can be quite misleading. I mean, one that's particularly misleading is the pen is mightier than the sword. The only time that I've ever found the pen to be even close to being as mighty as the sword is when I've actually used it as a fucking sword. And one-eyed Gary still hasn't forgiven me to this day. But even on the highest political or literal level, if the pen is going to be mighty than the sword, what they will try to do is they will say, there could be two political leaders saying, could you please sign this treaty that means this land will become our land? And they say, well, no, that land belongs to us. He said, yeah, but if you would just sign here, please, then this land will become our land. And then, generally, they say, well, no, that's our land. And then they say, ah. And then away go the fucking pens, out come the swords, the tanks, the troops, the nuclear missiles, and it all goes messy, you know? So what a load of bollocks that is. There's another very misleading quotation, which is only God can judge me. I saw someone the other day with a tattoo on themselves saying only God can judge me. And I thought, well, technically speaking, that's not right, is it? Because there's a lot more chance of being judged by entities that actually exist. Like people, for instance. There's a lot more chance of being judged by people. I mean, like, look at judges, for instance. They do it for a living. But then I thought, well, Wayne Rooney's not that clever anyway, is he, really? Albeit surprisingly religious. Another quite misleading quotation is faint heart never won fair lady, you know? Well, actually, sometimes keeping it a little bit cool when that can attract females, but I thought, well, no, faint heart doesn't always win fair lady, does it? But, faint heart doesn't win fair lady, neither did 3 sexual convictions, 2 cautions, and 3 years in one discussion stalking. So, another very good quote is, take the hint, you know? So, if they're not acting like they're interested, they're probably not. I tried treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen, yeah, with a Thai girlfriend I was going out with, but she wasn't really buying it, but then again, I was pimping her out pretty hard. She used to call me Tirak, yeah? In Thai, Tirak means darling, right? I wrote a poem about her, so I'm going to do that for you now, alright? For the sake of this poem, Tirak means darling, and foreigner means falang. So when you're Western, they call it falang, alright? So hopefully you'll get the poem. bear with me here. Have you ever been to a fucking poetry night and some geezer starts grabbing up a fucking wig and pretending to be a Thai prostitute? It's not commonplace.
Where's your dressing? Oh, pretty good.
I fucking remember you, baby. You come Thailand before, you big player. Okay, right.
I like the accent. It's good.
Tilak, please don't make me cry. The word for love is rak in Thai. Together we can try, you know, from small coconut tree can grow. But Tilak, please don't make me cry because I know sometimes Philang man lie. Before I have boyfriend from England and Germany and Australia, and every time Philang man lie, but I like Philang man more than Thai. Because Thai man always boxing lady. And he no work and have no money, baby. And he run away and no come back. No same Philang man. Okay, Tilak? Because my son he the money for Sago. And mama, she in hospital. And every day I pray that you take care of my family because you're good. Do now go another bar. If you want go, we can go my car. You pay 500 baht to Big Mama. We can run away, go very far. We can go see my family in Northeast country. They're lovely. We can go back to my home city by air ticket for very cheap. Tilak, do not be a liar. My boyfriend before he died in fire. He was very big butterfly in Pattaya, but before he died, he was house fire. Now my family stay inside he home, but really, it is me who own. Because in his home country, he take out loan, but he put the house in my name, though. Honey, you can buy me gold. My sister, she have shop on the Soi 5 road. Then we can go karaoke, you can sing, and then Tilak, I want my ring. Tilak, I really do love you, I want you, you know, to be true. I think about everything that we can do. Oh, Tilak, do you love me too? Thank you.
I'm thinking about it. Well done, G.
Hell, that bitch broke my heart. We stay in touch on Facebook. That's a funny thing, that Facebook, you know. It's really crazy. You see everybody is like fucking scrolling down all the time doing this Facebook shit. It's really quite addictive, you know. And you've got these people doing Facebook and Twitter, and they're fucking addicted to it. You can imagine like Facebook Anonymous starting up soon. There'll be people in there who say, yeah, I've got a good hit of Facebook, I've got a share of Facebook, and I've got a few hits on Twitter. I'm fucking totally twat-faced. But also there's, on Facebook there's a lot of praying going on. Apparently like 1 click can equal 5, 1 click is like 5 likes equals 5 prayers for cancer. I mean, that's pretty good, right? I mean, prayer for prayer, you can't pray anywhere quicker than that. I mean, you can imagine that eventually the Catholic Church, because it's sort of like, the Catholic Church is sort of like fading away, would end up just being a Facebook page. People scroll down and be like, there's 5 prayers for cancer, I'm going to share a dove there for world peace. I'll update my subscription to Holy Water. And also it would give the altar boys an opportunity to poke back. So I think it's a pretty good idea, really. And I mean, the Pope is on Twitter now, and you used to have to go all the way to Rome to meet the Pope, and now you can just stay home and tweet the Pope. So I think that's a fucking great idea, really. But I blame technology for a lot of the effort, the human effort into things now, like all of the sitcoms and the films. The films are pretty disappointing, but yet they make you think it was great because they do these adverts, these trailers, they've got these voice. Like it's usually like a really shit film. There'll be something like, meet Mr. Brady, just the average 25-year-old college boy, but something will change the way that Mr. Brady teaches college forever. You're like, fucking hell, that looks awesome. So you watch this film and it's a load of old shite. You know? But luckily, my wife, right, she finds that voice really sexually attractive. So, you know, it really arouses her. So I know how to press buttons, really. I just have to press play. But seriously, it's got to the stage, so if we're doing it, we could be away, and she'll say, put that voice on for me, will you? So I'll put the voice on, we'll be doing it, I'll be like, just when she thought her life couldn't get any better, out came Mr. Brady. Usually, you know, I let her know when I'm about to finish, so I'll say something like, coming soon. Subject to availability, of course. And, you know, usually it's quite disappointing, like the films. But there you go. But American people, they always try to make things seem quite bigger and better. In fact, to be honest with you, everything in America is quite big, really. It's like, they've got kind of like the big Apple, the big screen, the big Mac, the big gold, big cars. Usually like big appetites, big bums and all that, you know. But I think that's pretty cool, really, because I come from England and everything, because I was in California, you see. But in England, they're so everyone's so cynical, it's like the cup is always half empty. But when I was in America, it's like unlimited refills. You know what I mean? But the over here, it's like the high street ain't going to give you nothing. I was onto the high street the other day and it just seemed so like cold and oppressive. Everything's trying to take from you. There's all these shops there, can I get your gold off you for a fraction of the fucking price? Even the bookmakers' shops are trying to entice you in with free bets. But when you go in there, right, they'll do any fucking thing to stop you from leaving until you've spent your money. So, like, you'll go in there, you've spent a lot of money, and then you're down to your last £5, and someone will come around offering tea, coffee, or a Kit Kat. But it ain't proper Kit Kats, it's like them half-size Kit Kats. And I've worked that out. It's because when you're down to your last fucking couple of quid, they want to come around and stick 2 fingers up in your face. Just imagine some poor fucker on the roulette machine going, oh God, I let my wife and kids down. I can't afford to pay the rent this month. I'm going to kill myself. Kit Kat, sir? Yeah, fuck it. And he takes the Kit Kat, he's probably going to dip it in his fucking vodka when he has an overdose. That night, there'll be a suicide note on the Kit Kat wrapper. His family will find him in the morning. Please scatter my ashes all over the carpet in Ladbrokes. You know, but the high street's gone cheap and nasty. Pound shops are 10 a penny. Then you've got the 99p store for those who ain't the full shilling. Tesco's are trying to buy out smaller chains. You know, they're trying to buy a little because every little helps. But even the car phone warehouse now, I mean, like, stores aren't what they seem. You go in there, you say, hold on a minute, mate. It's a car phone warehouse full of fucking phones, no cars. I said, mate, I wanted a car. It's just got Motorola written everywhere. He said, no, he said, what car were you after? I said, an Audi. He said, you've got to go to the Audi shop. At the Audi shop, I got 5 bags of groceries. I had to pay for my own fucking bags. And I still didn't get the car. But you've been a lovely audience, and you've got some great comedians coming up after me, so thank you very much for listening. Cheers.
Thank you very much.